as publishers cry foul when the government has not paid them. They're saying they won't supply books. Still, we have more in the city who have now taken initiative and try to find new ways of breaking into the market. Previously, the government used to send money directly to schools, so the schools would buy books from suppliers and booksellers, but now they're not doing that anymore. I have a gentleman with me, Mr. Paul Ndirango, who is one of the publishers who has come up with a new innovation to produce digital books, even as students still find themselves in a pickle when the government doesn't pay suppliers and they maybe have a shortage of books. So please introduce yourself and what you do for us as a publisher, and what inspired your move to start going with the digital publishing after the government decided to buy books directly from publishers, and how it affected you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kiman and Citizen Crew. My name, as you have heard, is Paul Ndirango. I did a project, I did a research when I was in university about the role of ICT in information and the role of ICT in integrating it in education. So I started collecting some data in Langata, and I realized that teachers and the students are not really embracing ICT in teaching and learning. So I developed some of the materials, as you can see here, we have got what we are calling the chemistry. This is a chemistry teaching notes. It has a Microsoft One from Form 1 to 4. I've got the videos, it's got the PowerPoint, I've got the topical questions. So this is the real alternative that the government or the student or the teachers can really embrace to address the shortage of books or access of the books, or providing a platform whereby the student can learn better, and be able to see some of these topics. Like, for example, if I put a case in point, we have a topic in a form for chemistry called electrochemistry, and it is so abstract. If a student does not really see the videos of that, then it will become almost next to impossible for a student to understand very well. So that is what we are providing alternative.
So your research is very interesting, because you're not only challenging the fact that physical books do not give adequately what students want to learn, but now I would like to know, as you produce these DVDs as just for publishers, do you have are you held with the same standards with other publishers, other big publishers who publish books, who have to follow copyright issues? Is that one of your concerns when you're making some of this?
Yeah, we have to follow the copyright issues. Each and every document or each and every file, you have to have the copyright. Once you have the copyright, then you own the materials, and then you get to the market, and you provide the solution to the whole of Kenya, especially the students, so that learning becomes easier and more interesting to the learner. Yes.
Tell me, some of your team have a background in publishing, and some of them were laid off after publishers who the government was previously sending money to schools, and they would get orders from schools, but now they've had to lay some of their salespeople who were selling physical books. But now you've integrated some of the salespeople in your team. How has that transition been like from since the government made that move, especially from your side?
After the government that made move to supply the books themselves to school, most of the physical publishers were really hit by that, especially laying off the workers. So what we did, those top claim sellers from the physical publishers, we integrated them in our, we employed them, or we gave them job in our company, and now they are providing alternative marketers in school, marketing in school. So they go to school, what they were doing for the physical supply of the book, then they go marketing this digital content to the school. So for us it is a plus, but for them it's a minus.
So do you supply to private schools only, or do you also have some of your clients who are in public schools who are not only receiving books from the government, but also they might choose digital books or e-material as an alternative to teaching, or an alternative teaching method?
This one we provide, we supply them to all the schools. We don't mind every the public and private school, but you find that the public school, that is where the big market is, because in private school the protocol is a bit complicated for one to purchase, because you find that mostly it's the directors who is the sole decision maker in purchasing of this material. But when you go to a public school, if the DOS recommend this material, that is solely the work, and then the the principal, the chief accounting officers just make the payment. But now we have had some challenges in that because the government has not really provided the money, the tuition account money, which we usually get paid from. Yes.
Yeah, that's what the point I was coming to, because previously the government would send them money to buy books. Maybe then they had maybe a plan where they would buy some of the physical books, actually published books, but then they would also set aside some of that money to buy maybe digital material. So have you had any challenges with getting payments, because now the government doesn't give them money directly? Or where do they get that money to buy this? Or would they ask parents to contribute to get this material as an extra, or how does that work?
Thank you so much, Mr. Keman. That's a very good question. What is happening? If the government has not supplied, because the government has not supplied the money for buying these materials and books, we are having challenges on our side in terms of business. But what the schools are now doing, in our case, they organize, maybe when they have the AGM in schools, when they have the closing ceremony in school, they invite us, and now the parents can buy directly. So you can see that apart from the tax the Kenyans are paying, you find that now the parents, they go back to the pocket again, and they also pay and buy these materials on their own. Yes. That's
very interesting. Thank you so much, Mr. Paul Ndirango, for speaking to us, and all the best with your business. So there you have it, Zinzi, and everyone else watching. An alternative is the other publishers struggle to get payments from the government. There are people like Paul who are producing digital material, and they do their own marketing. They had to get some of the marketers or the salespeople from publishers who've been locked out to sell digital books. A very great alternative towards physical books. But that